Hi and welcome to Coding with Jesse. I'm Jesse Skinner, and today I'm going to continue working on this edit page, trying to get the form data to actually show up in the form. Right now it's just sort of a copy of my add page, so it's all empty, which is not really helpful for editing. So the problem I need to solve today is how to get the data to show up here. So I know I have the data on my list page. It's all there. I'm rendering it. It's loading it with jQuery Ajax. Drawing this, and then when I click edit, the data is just not available here. So what I need to do is kind of refactor things. I need to get this list somewhere outside of the list page itself, somewhere that the edit page can also access it. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to create a hoverboard store. So hoverboard's a library I developed for using for data models. There's other ways to do it, but that's kind of the simplest way for me. And I have other videos using hoverboard, so it might be familiar for you as well. So first thing I'm going to do here is npm install hoverboard and save that to the project. That should just take a moment. And then I need to create a hoverboard store for, basically it's going to keep track of the list of posts. So I'll switch over. I have a view. This will be my first model. So I'll make a model folder, and then I'll make an index.js to represent the entire model. I don't need to do that right now. I'll do that when I have more stuff. So I'll just call this posts.js. There. Okay, so in here I'm going to import hoverboard from hoverboard. Then I'm going to export default, a function that creates my hoverboard store. And so I can just do it like so, hoverboard, and then I'm going to have actions. One action will be, well, I need to set the list once I load it. So state will be by default an empty array, but we're going to take in the list of posts. Let's call it posts, and that will return the list of posts. So it'll just be a simple setter, and that should cover it for now. So the way I'm going to use this is in my I guess in the view. Like right now I have in my posts this list, in the list post list component, I have it loading the list here and then setting that as internal state on the post list. So I'm actually going to move this out to not be in here, and to do that I'll go up to here. So somehow I need to have it available so that, see, this is where React Router is kind of confusing me, because I don't know how to pass in data into these components. React Router is creating them for me. And that's kind of frustrating, because how do I tell them where the model is that they need to access? I guess I need to go to the React Router documentation. So pass in props to component. I don't know. I've looked this up so many times, and all I get, it's just these issues. People like confused like me trying to figure out how to pass stuff in. It's just like question after question. Passing props to children. And the answer is always like, don't do it. And I don't know why. You need to use create element handler for your routes to control the instancing of the route handler. Okay, so how would I do that? See, there's like no, there's no way to do it. It's crazy. Like, I guess I have to have a singleton projects that the renderer is looking at. Like, I don't know. I don't want to do that. So how can I do it? Well, I could have a singleton. It's not something I want to do. So what that means is there'd be a JavaScript file that does the loading itself, and then so instead of returning a function, I could actually export I could create a single, that's what singleton means. I could create a single store and then export it, and that's how, then for the different components, they could just import that file and they'd have access to the data. The reason I don't like that is it's not great architecture because it depends on this file only being run once, and that usually is true but might not always be true. There might be cases where I try to access it using a different path and then it gets called twice, something like that. I don't know. I'm just going to do it this way, and we can change it hopefully later. So I'm going to make my store, my single store. I guess one benefit is I can now load the contents of it here, and instead of store.setState, instead of this.setState, I'm going to call store.set and just pass in the post like this. So what this means is when this file gets loaded, it's going to use Ajax to load the list of posts, and it's going to set it on this store. So whoever's listening to this store is going to be notified that the posts arrived. And what else do I need to do? I need to import jQuery, I guess, into here, which means I can take it out of my list thing. I can simplify this actually quite a bit because now I don't need state on it. So it can just be, it can go back to how it used to be. In fact, wait, no, I guess I do need it to be this way, because now instead of loading from Ajax, I'm going to load it from my store. So what I'm going to do is go import up a folder, up another, to model, to posts. We'll call that posts store from, you can call it whatever we want, but I'll call it that. So when the component mounts, we're going to listen to it, get state. We're going to get the state, and then, which actually is posts. And then when it comes in, we're going to call this.setState posts. So this is actually pretty similar to how I was doing the Ajax stuff. One difference is now I need to keep track of, I need to unsubscribe from this in case it changes. So to do that, I'm just going to keep track of this private variable, underscore unsubscribe, and then I'll have component will unmount, and that will just call unsubscribe. So that way, if changes come in after you're not on the list page anymore, it's not going to try to render the page. Okay, so in the next video, I'll see if this is actually working and try to wire it up into the edit page as well. So thanks for watching.